Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial video. This is a gearing guide. Aim of this guide is so that you're never worried about how to gear your Death Knight, what weapon to use, what enchant, what gemming. So I'm just going to teach you how to do all that to make your Death Knight most effective for PvP. You'll have to excuse my interface at the moment. I'm recording in a window to, save FPS, so a lot of things to overlay. This is not actually how I have my interface, so just something to bear in mind. So the first question is actually quite a simple question. You may think you know the answer, but actually a lot of people don't. What weapon do you use? This depends on what race you are. Certain races are basically have an extra expertise with certain weapons. Expertise, you basically, it's a stat you need to reforge into a certain amount, which we'll talk about later. It's about 3%. You need to reforge into about 3%, so that reduces the chance of you being dodged or parried by other people, basically. And certain races have an extra 1% expertise with certain weapons. So if you're a human, you definitely have to go for a sword. Every time. Human, sword. If you're a dwarf, you go for a mace. Okay, the problem is there isn't actually an option for a mace, which is a bit shit, to be honest. If you're an orc, you go for an axe. And that's it. They're the only races that have extra expertise with Death Knight weapons. The rest are with guns and bows and all that crap. Okay, so the rune you'll be going for on your weapon is Rune of a Fallen Crusader every single time. There is no argument about this. This is definitely the best DPS rune, and it always will be, hopefully. Well, actually, I want it to change, but Rune of the Fallen Crusader every time. Trinkets. Don't use any PvE trinkets this season. 2. So if you're any other race, then you don't need to worry at all. Just pick the one which looks the best. But for trinkets, the PvP trinkets, you want, if you're a human, you want to go for the proc one, which is Insignia of Victory, and then you want to go for the Badge of Victory, which is the on-use strength buff. But if you're not human, then unfortunately you have to go for the other trinket, which pops you out of crowd control. And then the second one, really up to you. Well, basically you choose between the proc one or the on-use one. Personally, I'll go for the proc one. Okay, so let's start talking about the stat priority for Death Knight. The main attribute you want to go for is strength, and that's why I want to gem as much strength as possible. The main stat you want to go for is mastery, so we're going to be gemming mostly strength and mastery in PvP power in some areas. The basic rule is prismatic. If there's a prismatic slot from your blacksmithing or your belt, let's just have a little look. Prismatic slot, here we go. You want to basically put 160 strength in. If there's a red slot, like, let me look. Red slot like this, basically put 160 strength in. For yellow slots, I'm going to put plus 60, 80 strength and 160 mastery. Mastery is the main damage stat for Death Knight. It's the best one, so when you be gemming it, you want to put that on your chest, and also your shoulders. You want to put strength and mastery, and your boots. Your boots also want to be there. Now, for the blue sockets, you want to be putting strength and PvP power on the the hand gloves, because basically the socket bonus for 60 strength is quite beneficial. Now on your legs, right? Bit of a choice here. You make a choice, right? You can either put 160 strength in the blue socket, or you can put the PvP power one. I don't think the PvP power bonus is that good, but that's why I'm going 2 strength gems at the moment. I'm just trying it out. It's probably like 0.001% difference. Doesn't really matter that much, but I'm just doing double strength gems in there for some reason. If you have blacksmithing, prismatic slot on your wrist and your hand, definitely just strength. And your meta gem should be a strength gem as well. I'm just going off a gladiator on the armor, who's a bit better than me, a bit better, and he's got basically a strength gem rather than the PvP power and resilience one. Okay, let's just go into Reforging. If you have the add-on Reforge Lite, then you don't really need to watch this. But if you don't have, we already have the add-on Reforge Lite. I don't have it, can't be asked, but it looks pretty good, right, from what I've seen. So Reforge Lite, great add-on for Reforging, and this is how you're going to Reforge. So the main stat you want to Reforge into is mastery. Okay, then it's Haste. Haste is like the second important stat. Then Crit, it's not even really important. However, the most important stats you actually want to, Reforge into is Hit and Expertise. So let's look. hit chance. You want to get closest as you can to 3%. And then the expertise cap, I'm going to double check that actually. You actually don't need to worry about your expertise cap, as when your gear naturally just gives you about 3%, so you don't actually need to worry at all about reforging into expertise. You need to worry about reforging out of expertise. So once you've got the hit cap and expertise, which you don't need to actually get, you basically need to reforge those stats. You need to reforge into priority mastery, but if the gear already has a piece of mastery, then you reforge into haste. Never reforge haste, keep haste as it is, keep mastery as it is, reforge always into mastery, but if the piece of gear already has mastery, then reforge into haste. So basically reforging into mastery and haste, crit as well, reforge out of crit and into mastery and haste. See here, this piece of gear had crit rating and haste. What I did is I reforged a crit into mastery. This piece of gear here had haste and mastery, so it doesn't even need reforging. Okay, if a piece of gear has hit and crit on it, what you're going to do is you're going to choose the biggest stat to reforge. So for the biggest stat, here it is, crit, 772. You're going to reforge that, then into mastery straight away, not haste, mastery. If the piece of gear doesn't have haste on it or mastery, it's mastery first. You see here, crit, haste, crit, into mastery. Simple as that, really. Your weapon, you want to reforge the crit on it into haste, basically. So, you know, you're reforging into mastery and haste, but you're prioritizing mastery rather than haste, because mastery is what gets you more damage. We're going to analyze that briefly right now. Okay, so there's a big argument whether mastery or haste is better to reforge into. Let's analyze mastery. Mastery increases your damage, shadow damage, pet damage, gargoyle damage, damage of everything, okay? It's basically just increasing damage. Keep it as simple as that in your head. Okay? Haste, what it does, reduces your rune speed, but really when you reforge into it, it's barely going to decrease your rune speed, so it's really going to save time on your runes. Increases the attack rate of your gargoyle and your pet, but barely a lot, really. And the mastery increases the damage of the pet, so it's actually, the mastery does benefit your pet more, the gargoyle. And haste. Haste does not, okay, increase the rate that your dots occur. Now, if it did, haste might be more viable. Mages have this. Basically, living bomb. Higher the haste of the mage, the higher it procs. The higher living bomb procs, more brain freeze procs. Okay, that's where it's viable. If the dots are being increased by the haste, that's where it can be viable. But it doesn't affect DK at all. Just a load of crap, admittedly. Mastery, guys, just go mastery, big damage. That's what you want to be doing in Death Knight. As Death Knight, you want to be getting dots up, spreading pressure. Okay, let's start talking about enchants. First of all, I'm going to teach you a little trick to search for enchants on the auction house. So basically, you click consumable, item enchantment, and then you type in the slot you want it to go in. So imagine you want a shoulder enchant. There is no shoulder enchant, sorry, for on the auction house. Let's say bracer. Okay, here we go, here's all the bracer enchants. And you want exceptional strength, there you go. So, let's actually talk about the enchants themselves, get out of this laggy area. Okay, so there's a little choice of what enchants you can actually choose. Apparently in the next expansion there's going to be a bit more choice. On shoulders, you want extra strength and crit. Can't remember where you get this from, but if you type in item and consumable, it's one of those big ones that cost a lot of money. On your cloak, ignore the PvP power I have on there. I don't even know why I have that, I don't know. There's a choice between either 200 resilience or 200 stamina. Personally I go for stamina. I think it complements Death Knight more, as we normally sit in blood presence for a lot, and you know, more health, you know, it's kind of, you're stacking stuff up. But resilience or stamina, your choice. On your chest, 80 plus all stats, simple. On your wrist, 180 strength. On your gloves, 170 strength. On your belt, you want the Eternal Belt Buckle to add a gem slot. On your legs, this is a tailoring enchant, 208 strength and crit. On your boots, you want mastery and minor speed increase. That is it. If you're an enchanter, enchant your rings, and that's pretty much. Let's talk quickly about professions. Best profession I'd recommend is blacksmithing, because you get extra two gem slots. which is pretty good. I mean, it's like an extra 320 strength. I'm running with alchemy at the moment, which is going to basically add another 2 strength gems, because you get a constant buff over 320 strength, which is constantly active in PvP all the time in raid arenas and everything. Jewel crafting, a bit weaker than alchemy in my opinion. Engineering is pretty strong because you get an extra, an extra strength on use cooldown thing, and it looks pretty helpful, but I just can't be bothered farming for it. Or inscription, you get better enchants. Really, what best ones? Alchemy, blacksmithing, jewel crafting, engineering. Tailoring, bit useless. Leatherworking, bit useless. Better enchants. These are the profs you want to go for, basically. Alchemy, blacksmithing, engineering, or jewel crafting. Okay, thanks for watching the video, guys. Dual wielding is completely unviable. Do not try dual wielding at all. There's a link in the description for some awesome transmogs. The one I'm wearing at the moment is Imperial Plate Shoulders and Overlord plate, which is the only gear in the game that actually looks realistic. Pretty cool sword as well. Anyway, check the transmogs out, and thanks for watching the video, guys. Also check the description for the information, just in case you can't be asked watching the video again. There'll be information there, links to other guides. Okay, thanks for watching the video, guys. Ciao.